Have you ever felt have you ever felt like a bird in a gilded cage? Do you wonder what you could see, what you could feel, what you could be if you went out that door and took flight, feeling the wind beneath your wings, the beauty of the open blue sky above you, the warmth of the sun on your back, feeling the beauty and freedom of the wild open spaces that you know are there? You have good things going on. Life is treating you well. And yet, perhaps sometimes there's a feeling of incompletion. And you wonder, where is that coming from? Are you working really hard to get that success? Are you pushing really hard? Is that where the cage feeling comes from? When your imagination takes flight, your vision can open up into a whole new idea of what is possible for you, what your world and what your life can be. The door is open and you can come and go as you please. The great Leonardo da Vinci had a special way of showing the world when he felt joyful. He would gather together groups of cages filled with birds on a hillside. Opening the doors, he would allow the beauty and joy of their flight as they gained their freedom to be his expression of what he felt within. I would like to follow in his footsteps and use his example to help you set your bluebird of happiness free in Big Sur. The spectacular coast of Big Sur is visited by well over 1 million people a year, and yet most of them spend all their time in the usual places along the highway and never see the rest of Big Sur at all. There's a whole different world up the canyon. Maybe the idea of just stepping out into the wild all on your own is kind of a lot to wrap your head around. That's a natural reaction to the wild. When I first stepped onto the land where I now live in 1973, I felt vastly intimidated. The roads were so bad that you needed four-wheel drive to get here, and most of the time it was a good idea to park and walk in unless you had a Jeep or a power wagon. There was no phone, no radio even, certainly no TV. In fact, there wasn't even running water into the hunting cabin. Not much of anything. Yikes! And yet, the first time that I stepped onto the land, I felt such a presence. I felt overpowered by the beauty that surrounded me. I felt touched by the wild in a way that I can hardly put into words. I felt that it would take a long time for me to learn to understand and communicate this message. And yet, as intimidating as that was, I felt ready to step into it, to deal with the challenges of the wild, to learn as much as I could for as long as I would be able to handle what my life was to be. I knew it would be hard. I had no idea how hard it was going to be, and that's a good thing. I knew it would be worth it. It's worth it. Since 1973, I have lived and worked in Upper Mill Creek, doing many kinds of work: homesteading, raising structures, building corrals and fences, raising food, fruits and vegetables, raising livestock, raising my sons, who are grown men now with children of their own. I make things by hand. It's called upcycling now. This is what I've always done. I create items that people can use in their daily lives, reflecting the beauty of my natural surroundings to the best of my ability, making practical items of the highest quality that I'm able to produce. Over the many years, the trees that I've planted and tended have now become huge, bearing many types of fruit. I passed along the dairy business some years ago to a younger person who uses it to help his family. It's great to just walk by and say, "Oh, look, there are the goats," after having done the work myself for over 30 years. And it's good to know that someone else and their family are benefiting from this. All of this has freed me up to develop a retreat camp location that is perfectly positioned within the wild country so that you can enjoy the beauty and majesty of this unique area of Big Sur. Today I'll talk about connecting with your group. But first I want to share a little bit about my background and some stories about Mill Creek. I started camping at a very early age, and I spent as much time outdoors as I could as a child. I served often as camp cook, and I learned the basics early. Setting up and knocking down tents, keeping a clean and orderly camp, making meals, hoping that we get them together on time, making sure that people enjoy themselves as well as they can. All of these things just come naturally in this way of life in the backcountry. These are skills that I would like to use to your benefit in helping you to have the best time ever in the wildest part of Big Sur. When I started my fashion business, I called it Betty of Big Sur, since this is where I work and live. It's a joy to me to be able to create things that people love so much that they ask that, what else do you have? I have a successful food distribution business that is well known throughout the region for the quality of products and the integrity of service that I provide. I'm a member of the Professional Women's Network of Monterey. I served on the school board that established an independent school district in this region so that children in this area can have a higher quality of education. Currently, I'm a member of the executive committee for the planning of the California Coastal Trail through Big Sur. This citizen-originated committee is working under the leadership of Senator Monning to create walking access throughout the entire Big Sur coast. We've brought together collaborations of citizens groups, agencies, and universities to create a state-of-the-art planning system that will be used to create an unparalleled splendor for the walking visitors to Big Sur. We know that this work is going to take the rest of our lives, and we're ready to keep going. I would like to keep going with you. So let's get started talking about you and your group. Getting out of your usual frame of mind is important so that you can gain new insights and ways to deal with what's going on in your life. You can see things about what's going on that you can't see in your usual life when you step away for a short period of time. When you connect with your group in a natural setting, you find new ways to relate and deepen your relationships. This brings about a change in your mind that you can take anywhere. You will find that your mind just happens to change a lot when you get out of the box and into a place that is wide open. As Einstein said, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So change your mind and step out of that cage and fly free. Feel the inspiration of the power and beauty that only nature can provide. Change your mind and change your life. This location has served as a platform for many types of gatherings over the years, including music festivals, motorcycle events, creative retreats, school outings, needlework retreats, and family reunions. I would like to help your group put together something that is amazing for you and transformative for your entire consciousness. If you have a company, you can reward your highest performing employees with an outing into this amazing region and they will have the best time. You can treat them like kings and queens, and the rest of your team will be inspired by the rewards that can be had by doing their best. You can bring out your people for a company picnic. If you bring their families, everyone can have just a great time together. There are so many things here that are really wonderful for you to enjoy. There's a pond for swimming, there's a horseshoe pit, there's a stage. Don't worry, I've got you covered. This is not primitive camping. It is a clean and orderly campsite with picnic tables, a working kitchen, a flushing toilet, and a hot water shower. I will do everything I can to make your stay as pleasant and enjoyable as possible. In fact, if you don't even want to deal with tents, you can just walk right into camp and use one of my big cabin tents, or two of them. If you would prefer to cook over a campfire, you can do that. You have the option also of having meals prepared for you with different options and menus available. We can talk about it. I'll make it work for you. Get in touch with me today. Let's get started planning your group's outing. You're going to be able to connect and experience the most fabulous unfolding that will deepen everything about the way that your people interact with one another. If you have any kind of a creative group and you would like to put together a retreat activity of some kind, painting, music, writing, whatever, I will step forward and give you the best support that I can. Nowadays, we have the internet. As I said originally, I had no electricity even. So it's wonderful to have a conversation like this one today, which is taking place thanks to the satellite internet that is now available in this area. You will love that your cell phone doesn't ring, but you can still send and receive text messages if you wish. The nearby ranch house has a phone. But you might like to make yourself a little less available to the rest of the world and more available to yourself. This is a wonderful opportunity to get to know the wildest part of Big Sur in a clean and comfortable setting. I hope that you will take this opportunity to contact me by going to www.bettyofbigsur.com and clicking on the blue retreat camp checklist button. You will find lots of information about what this camp has to offer and pictures on the website. When you click on the camp retreat checklist, you will find that it offers you the ability to tell me what's important to your group. You'll get instant feedback, and you can schedule a time to talk to me about what you would like to do. Get in touch with me today. I look forward to working with you. I feel that I have been so fortunate as a working artist to have this experience, and I want to take it to the world. I've been incredibly blessed to be able to prevail in this wild environment, and I want to pass this along. Get in touch with me, www.bettyofbigsur.com. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for being here.